When was the last time you learned a new skill that actually increased your income?
Not just improved your job performance, but put real money in your pocket. For most people, it's been years, maybe decades.
Well, I'm about to show you how artificial intelligence can be that skill, but only if you approach it the right way.
After working with hundreds of people over the years, I've discovered that most of us stopped learning income-generating skills the day we got comfortable in our careers. We did. We learned company processes, industry updates, compliance requirements, but skills that directly translate to more money in our bank account, well, those tend to have stopped decades ago, right? Meanwhile, there's a small group of people who never stopped learning these skills. They picked up digital marketing, for example, in the 2000s. They learned social media when everyone else said it was a waste of time. They figured out online sales before their competitors knew what hit them. And now they're doing it again with AI. And the gap between them and everybody else is getting wider every single day. So let me be frank with you, AI isn't just another business tool. It's the great equalizer. It really is. Someone with the right AI skills can outperform entire teams of people who are still doing things the old way. But there's a right way and a wrong way to approach AI. Most folks are using it like a fancy search engine or a homework helper, like my kids. But the people making real money with it understand something completely different. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that something is. I'm going to break this down for you into 3 parts that every serious person needs to understand. First, I'm going to tell you the truth about what's really happening with AI right now, including why the so-called bubble might actually be the best thing that could happen to smart people who know how to position themselves. Second, I'll walk you through the real ways people are making money with AI today, not just the get-rich-quick schemes you see online, but legitimate income strategies that are working right now. And then third, I'll show you the investment opportunities that most people don't even know exist, the infrastructure that plays and supports the industries that could set you up for the next decade. So here's why you should listen to me. I've been through multiple technology shifts. I've been through market crashes, economic upheavals, and I've seen people make fortunes, and I've seen people lose everything. The difference usually comes down to timing and positioning. It's as simple as that. And right now we're at one of those critical moments, if you will, where the right knowledge can change absolutely everything. Without further ado, let's get into this. Let's get started.
One of the nation's top real estate investors. Within only 7 short years, Dave Seymour has transacted millions of dollars of real estate and has become one of the nation's leading experts in both residential and commercial transactions.
Well, welcome back, folks. Now, here's the reality about artificial intelligence that nobody's talking about in the mainstream media. We're not in some distant future where robots take over the world. We're in the middle of a practical revolution happening right now, today, that's reshaping how work gets done and money gets made. But let me tell you something, every time there's a major technology shift, the same pattern plays out. First, there's massive hype and speculation. Money pours in, valuations get ridiculous, and everyone thinks they're going to get rich overnight. Then reality sets in. The bubble bursts, and most people panic, and then they run away. But here's what separates smart money from everyone else. They understand that the bubble bursting doesn't kill the technology. You got it? It just separates the real opportunities from the hype. Think back to the internet boom in the late 90s. Everyone was throwing money at companies because they had a website, right? The valuations were absolutely insane. Then the crash came in 2000, and suddenly people were saying the internet was just a fad. Well, we know what happened there, right? But here's what really happened. The weak companies died, and the strong ones survived. The people who understood the difference between made fortunes buying quality assets rather than those where everybody else was just selling in the panic. Amazon stock dropped over 90% during that crash. Netflix, 99% fall, yeah. And Google went public right after the crash when everybody thought the internet stocks were dead. Look, the investors who bought those companies when they were beaten down became incredibly wealthy. And right now we're seeing some of the same action patterns with AI. There's massive speculation, huge valuations for companies with no revenue, and yes, there will probably be a correction at some point. But artificial intelligence, it's not going anywhere, guys. This technology, it's already being used to automate customer service, write marketing copy, analyze financial data, diagnose medical conditions, and hundreds of other practical applications that save businesses real money and time. The companies building actual AI solutions that solve real problems, where they're going to survive and thrive regardless of what happens to the speculative plays. Here's the opportunity most people are missing. While everyone's focused on the big AI companies and their stock prices, there are dozens of ways to profit from this shift that have nothing to do with buying NVIDIA or OpenAI stock. The real money is being made by people who understand how to use AI tools to create value, and by investors who can see the infrastructure build out that's happening behind the scenes. Let me show you how people are actually making money with AI right now. Not the theoretical stuff you read about, but real strategies generating real income, right? Real income. There are fundamentally two approaches that work. First, you can use AI to make your existing work dramatically more efficient, which either lets you take on more clients at the same rates or charge premium prices for faster delivery. Now, second, you can create entirely new income streams by solving problems for businesses that want to use AI but don't know how. For example, if you do any kind of writing, whether that's marketing, copy, reports, proposals, communications, anything like that, AI can probably cut your time in half while improving the quality. But here's the key, you don't just use it to write everything for you. You use it as a research assistant, an editor, a creative partner, if you will. Graphic designers and visual content, AI tools can generate concepts. They can create variations and even produce finished graphics that would take hours to create manually. The smart designers aren't worried about being replaced. For example, they're using these tools to take on more projects and deliver faster turnaround times. Now, if you're in any kind of consulting or analysis work, AI can process data, identify patterns, and generate insights in minutes instead of hours. This lets you focus on the high-value interpretation and strategy work that clients really pay for. For anyone dealing with routine communications, emails, scheduling, follow-ups, basic customer service, AI can handle most of this automatically, freeing up your time for the work that actually requires your expertise. But the bigger opportunity is in helping other businesses implement AI solutions. You see, most business owners know that they should be using AI, but they have no idea where to start. They're overwhelmed by the options, confused by the technology, and scared of making expensive mistakes. Well, that creates a massive opportunity for people who can bridge that gap. Take real estate, for example, my world, right? Agents are drowning in administrative work, writing property descriptions, creating marketing materials, following up with leads, scheduling showings, etc., etc. Now, all of this can be automated or dramatically improved with AI, but most agents don't know how to set it up. If you can show a real estate agent how to use AI to create compelling property listings, to generate social media content, automate their follow-up sequences, they'll gladly pay you monthly to maintain those systems. Now, the same thing applies to restaurants using AI for menu optimization, inventory management, medical practices using AI for appointment scheduling and patient communications, or even retail businesses. They use AI for product descriptions and customer service. The key is specialization. Don't try to be an AI consultant for everyone. Pick one industry, understand their specific problems, and become the person who can solve those problems with AI. Small consulting firms are perfect for this approach. They're typically overwhelmed with data entry, basic bookkeeping, and routine client communications, right? They know AI can help them, but they don't have the time to figure it out themselves. Now, if you can show them how to automate receipt processing, generate financial reports, handle basic client questions with AI, you could easily charge $2,000 to $5,000 a month for setting up and maintaining those systems. The beauty of this approach is that you don't need to be a technology expert. You just need to understand the business problems and how which AI tool can solve the problem for them. It's not rocket science. The real opportunity, the one that could set you up for years, is understanding how to invest in the AI infrastructure that's being built for you right now. And that's what I want to show you next. You see, everyone's running around trying to buy stock in big AI companies. They want pieces of paper that represent ownership in OpenAI or whatever the latest chatbot startup is. But here's what they're not really understanding, that's just another version of the same paper asset game that's been enriching Wall Street for decades while leaving regular investors holding the bag. Let me give you a perfect example. During the California, right, the California gold rush, let's go back, 1850s, thousands of people, they all rushed west, right, to dig for gold. Most of them went broke. You know who got rich? You might have heard this before. The people who owned the land where the gold was found. Yeah, those are the ones that got rich. The people who built and owned general stores selling supplies to miners. The people who owned the transportation companies moving goods and services for people, right? Right now we're in the middle of an AI gold rush. And just like 170 years ago, the real opportunities aren't in buying pieces of paper that claim to represent the gold miners. They're in owning the real assets and businesses that make the whole thing work in the first place. You see, every time someone uses ChatGPT, asks AI to create an image, or has artificial intelligence analyze data, that processing has to happen somewhere physically. And it's not happening in some mysterious cloud floating in the sky. It's happening in massive data centers built on real land, filled with real equipment consuming real resources. You see, AI requires exponentially more computing power than traditional internet applications. What that means is we need more data centers, a lot more. And those data centers need to be built somewhere. This creates massive opportunities in real estate that most people have never considered. Data centers can't be built just anywhere. They need specific infrastructure, reliable power grids, fiber optic connections, proximity to internet hubs, and locations with favorable regulations and utility costs. Smart real estate investors are already identifying these areas and buying land before the data center developers arrive. They're looking at utility maps, they're studying internet infrastructure, and they're positioning themselves in the path of this massive build-out, path of progress. Think about it. If you owned land that a major tech company needed for their next data center, I don't know, what do you think that land would be worth? But let's go deeper. Let's go deeper than just land ownership, because there are business opportunities here that could set you up for life. Those data centers I mentioned, well, they don't just magically appear and run themselves. They need construction, maintenance, security, cleaning, specialized technical services, and dozens of other support functions. Many of these services are provided by local and regional businesses, not giant corporations. And AI data centers have requirements that are different from traditional facilities. For example, the cooling systems in AI data centers are incredibly sophisticated and they require specialized maintenance. The security requirements are extreme. These facilities are protecting billions of dollars worth of equipment and some of the most valuable data in the world. If you're in construction, you could specialize in data center build-outs. If you're in security, you could focus on data center protection. If you're in maintenance or facilities management, you could become the go-to provider for AI infrastructure in your region. Now, the beauty of this approach is that you're building a real business with real cash flow, not hoping that some stock price goes up. Now, another angle that most people are completely missing is using AI to dominate traditional local businesses. See, remember, AI gives you superpowers compared to competitors who aren't using it. It means that you can provide better service, faster turnaround, more accurate results, and still charge premium prices because you're delivering premium value. Take property management. Let's go there, for example. Property management companies that use AI for tenant screening, maintenance scheduling, rent collection, and market analysis, well, they can manage more properties with fewer staff while providing better service to property owners. Or consider starting an AI-powered marketing agency focused on local businesses. Most small business owners know they need better marketing, but they just can't afford big agency prices. With AI handling the heavy lifting for content creation, social media management, and ad optimization, you could provide big agency results at small business prices, still have great, incredible profit margins. Sound good? The key is picking businesses where AI gives you massive efficiency advantage and then using that advantage to dominate your local market. Now, let's talk about how AI is changing real estate investing itself. Property analysis that used to take hours can now be done in mere minutes. Market research that required hiring expensive analysts, that can now be automated. And property management tasks that tied up your time can be handled by AI systems. This means that you can analyze more deals, manage more properties, and make faster decisions than investors who are still doing everything manually. But there's also a location play here. AI companies and the people who work for them need places to live and work. They're concentrating in specific cities and regions, and that's driving up demand for both residential and commercial real estate in those areas. The smart real estate investors aren't just buying AI company stocks, they're buying rental properties near AI campuses, office buildings in tech corridors, and land in areas where AI infrastructure is being built. You see, the bottom line here is that while everyone else is playing the paper asset game, hoping their AI stocks go up, you, my friend, can be building real wealth through real assets and real businesses. The AI revolution needs physical infrastructure, local services, and all the supporting businesses that make technology useful. Those are opportunities that you can own directly, control completely, and profit from regardless of what happens to stock prices. But this window never stays open forever. They never do, right? Opportunity comes and goes. But right now, most business owners and real estate investors that don't understand the AI opportunity, it's just a fact. They're not in the game. They're not positioning themselves for what's coming. Now that gives you a massive first mover advantage if you act now. But in 2 or 3 years, when everybody else figures this move out, well, the advantages are gone. Listen, here's what this is all coming down to right now. We're at one of those rare moments in history where a new technology is reshaping everything. It happens maybe once or twice in a generation, and most people, folks, they just miss it because they're focused on the wrong things or they're waiting for certainty that never comes. Artificial intelligence isn't some distant future possibility. It's happening right now, creating opportunities for people who understand what's really going on and then taking the action while there's still others sitting on the sidelines waiting to position themselves. You have 3 choices. First, you can ignore the whole thing and hope it doesn't affect you. Keep doing what you've been doing, keep doing what you've always done, and guess what? You're going to keep getting what you've been getting. That's the safe choice in the short term, probably the riskiest choice in the long term. Now, second, you can dabble around the edges. I don't know, try a few AI tools, maybe buy some AI stocks, see what happens. Look, that's better than doing nothing, but it's not going to change your financial situation. Now, third, here's the good one. You can treat this like the massive opportunity it really is. Learn how to use AI to create real value. Understand the investment landscape. Position yourself to profit from the infrastructure build out that's happening, whether you participate or you don't. The people who are going to build real wealth from AI aren't the ones waiting for permission or perfect information. It won't be. They're the ones who recognize the opportunity, develop the skills, take the calculated risks while everyone else is still trying to figure out what's happening next. Look, the choice is yours. You always have a choice, but don't wait too long to make it. The AI revolution is happening with or without you. And the only question is, which side do you want to be on? Which side of the equation? Now, if you want to learn more about building wealth outside the traditional system, I've put together additional resources that you can dive into in any one of these strategies. Check the link in the description below, or you can visit legacywealthmasterclass.com. And if you've got some value out of the video, come on, man, do the thing. You know what's up. Like it, subscribe, click a bell, whatever it is, so that you can see more of these videos as they drop. I'll see you in the next video, and you can access that right here. Take care. Talk soon.